mean, that's essentially what you're paying a bit more for, because it does actually put, but the Golf R does the same thing.
Definitely does the same thing.
So,
but the noise is the, I mean, it's a good noise.
It's meant to, the 5-cylinder noise is meant to be the selling point on these cars, isn't it? Inside the car, that rumble sound.
I recently spent some time driving the old gen Audi RS3, as you can see behind me, and I found it fantastic. You know, I drove it on some amazing mountain roads, and, you know, check out the videos for that. But I also drove the brand new Audi RS3, the 2022 model. Now, this car is quite important actually, because it's becoming a bit more of a global car for Audi. It's the first RS to actually come to the US, which is quite cool. You know, a subscriber commented and mentioned that they're getting an RS3. I think it's quite cool, and it's cool to kind of, you know, increase the brand, and, you know, that global appeal is what I've always liked about the Golf R. So it's great that they're doing that with the Audi RS3. It does feel a bit more special actually. Just the engine feels a bit more. I mean, we are in the hard of the hards.
Yeah. What mode are we in at the minute?
Performance.
Performance, yeah. Okay.
Now, what did I think about the new car, and how did I kind of feel about it in comparison to the old one? Is it sort of a direct comparison? Well, I loved driving the old one, I'm not going to lie. That's more fresh in my memory. I spent a fair amount of time with that. The roads were fantastic, so it was absolutely great. I spent less time in the new Audi RS3. I spent a fair amount of time as a passenger with a subscriber who actually wanted to test drive the car. And I spent a little bit of time with it, probably maybe about 20 minutes, maybe less than that, just driving the new one, trying to get an understanding of it, trying to get a bit of a feel for it. Now, if you're in Europe, like such as myself in the UK, you will notice that cars, well, since the end of the previous decade, are starting to sound not very good. They're getting plugged up with OPF filters, and it's sort of denting the whole thing, and it really, really does. I mean, this car, as you can see, that's the 5-cylinder engine, sounded fantastic. I know this one was tuned, but it still had the same Audi sports exhaust, so it was just brilliant. Listen to this car and tell me what you think. The problem is with the new one, it's just not going to sound as good, unless of course you're from like the US and America, where it's going to sound fantastic. I think with that proper noise, with the less legislation and regulations, I think the new one is going to be brilliant. It uses essentially the same sort of Mark 8 Golf R torque rear sort of splitter at the back, and it just makes it a little bit more agile, a bit more of a fun to use Haldex system in a way. And I've loved it. I've spent a lot of time driving the Mark 8 Golf R, and funnily enough, the Audi RS3 felt a lot like that car, and it obviously felt like a very quality premium product. I think for me, I sort of went about it in quite a critical way, because I was sort of like, well, this car's about 15 grand more than a Golf R, so it should be 15 grand better. And I think because the engine, it's all about the noise and the passion, well, to be honest with you, I wasn't really feeling that. You know, things were pumped through the speakers. It just wasn't what I would have expected from an RS product. And obviously driving the previous generation, that kind of confirmed that. Paddles are like, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's quite, I don't know how to pinpoint certain things. Certain things I like, some things that just seem a bit identical. The noise
is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't. With the R, it's got that, you know what I mean? It doesn't cry as much, sort of thing. This, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a bit more raw, I guess.
I'm driving it just how I would literally normally drive the car.
Yeah.
If we went to like
big change, to be honest.
No, I haven't
Doesn't feel
either.
any more
doesn't feel
comfortable, does it?
The R is a lot more, you realise it.
Notice how much more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's definitely not got comfortable, is it?
No.
That's comfort.
That's comfort, yeah.
Dynamic. I don't even think, maybe it hasn't got adaptive. But as for the driving experience, it's really, really fun. It certainly was agile and it was certainly picked up speed. And it was really, really great to drive. And I can thoroughly kind of recommend people who are going into it to get it. The only thing that I would say is that if you're more about sort of like the noise and you're in Europe, the old one is probably the way to go. You know, save yourself ultimately quite well, £20,000, simple as that. You know, I've seen Audi RS3s for about 35 grand, some good ones on like 67 plates. And obviously a new one, you're looking at a minimum of £55,000 in the UK. But if you're in the US, forget everything I've said, that new Audi RS3 is great and you will absolutely love it. What's going on now?
Yeah, it's got some kind of country road.
Drop my phone. Oh, your wallet. No.
Oh, now it's a little bit nicer.
There we go.
It doesn't hang about. They're gonna come back, it's gonna be filthy.
60k, mate. That's a nice house and a dog.
I'd love to get like a full sort of test drive in, so if you do have the new Audi RS3, please do let me know and I'd love to do a feature on the channel. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight of what I think about the RS products. A lot of people have asked me about them and yeah, to be honest with you, I love them. I just think that the world is getting sort of hurt with regulations and emissions laws, and ultimately manufacturers are trying to get every sort of like last inch out of profit, and as a result of that, newer cars are taking the hit and potentially older cars might be better. But I'm glad that subscriber actually messaged me and told me about like he's getting his car in America, because yeah, I think it's going to be great. You'll definitely enjoy it for sure. But let me know in the comments what you think about the old gen and the new gen. And yeah, if you're getting the car, comment of what sort of spec you're going for, because I think that's quite important. The ones that I've kind of been in have been quite sort of low spec, if I'm honest. But I think going for like a Vorsprung or like a black edition would certainly sort of like enhance the experience, particularly when you're spending sort of premium money here. And yeah, for sure, I'll show you hopefully more content on the channel going forward, but really interested to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think, and yeah, I will see you again next time. Cheers, guys. Mate, I hate this steering. I just
I think
I mean, look at this. I may as well be driving. It feels like it's just so light.
it is a machine though.
It is a machine.
It is a